Welcome, everyone, to Two Protons in a Cloud. Each week, we have a live dialogue digging into some of the industry news affecting the developer community, and of course, chat with our guest of the week on a topic we all want to know more about. I'm Adrienne Kreft, one of your hosts and the technical evangelist for HPE Helion.
Hi, and I'm Sujay Maheshwari, your second host, and I'm a dev evangelist at HPE Helion. Welcome.
All right, everyone. For this episode, we dive into another demo. So the People Finder app was recently redeployed on HPE Helion Stackato. Those of you who followed our contest back in November should be familiar with Stackato and, of course, have already been introduced to Cloud Foundry. So today we talk about the team's experience with Stackato and getting an app into production. Oscar Romero will be on hand to walk us through how HPE IT has redone the People Finder app in 3 months, added new features, ensured devs and IT are more aligned, and all that smart automation means that the dev team is now averaging, I think, 30 new features per sprint. So it should be a really good demo today. But first, we get into the news. So, Sujay, Microsoft Philanthropies, which launched last month, pledged to donate $1 billion in cloud computing resources yesterday, according to the Wall Street Journal. This $1 billion is intended to provide free cloud resources to 70,000 nonprofits, so universities, NGOs, etc., who are tackling global issues.
Yeah, I read that. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella stated last fall world leaders at United Nations adopted 17 sustainable development goals to tackle some of the toughest global problems by 2030, including poverty, hunger, health, and education. Satya also wrote, a careful read of those goals reveals the central role of the data and cloud computing technology must play for analysis and action. This is really great to see, Adrian.
Yeah, it's exciting, certainly. In other news, the OpenStack Summit, which is taking place this April in Austin, Texas, they're actually going to include a 2-day track devoted to telecom, NFV user presentations, workshops, panels, and collaborative sessions.
Wow, yeah. This comes at a good time since global telecom providers are ramping up their adoption of network functions virtualization, which is the NFV, and OpenStack is the NFV infrastructure platform of choice.
Yeah, pretty cool. So also good news on diversity initiatives. So if you all remember some of the stats Sujay and I have talked about in past episodes, this week sources report that Apple, we all know Apple, has released a new report documenting the diversity of its U.S. workforce through August 2015. So this shows an increased number of female, African American, and Hispanic employees in its U.S. workforce. So hopefully improvements are being made.
Yeah, and reminds me of the diversity talk which we attended in Berlin Cloud Foundry Summit. You know, that was a great talk, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
And for those of you in Europe, Oracle in the news lately, of course, for their hybrid cloud strategy, looks to expand in EMEA their cloud sales staff. So Cloud Pro states that Oracle said that it is looking to hire 1,400 new cloud sales professionals across the EMEA region with offices in Dubai, Dublin, Prague, as well as Cloud Sales Center in Amsterdam and Cairo.
Yeah, looks
I
like.
wish I knew sales. I like Amsterdam.
I would like Dublin. They speak English there. I do well. So now let's turn to our guest and a really exciting demo today. So Oscar Romero, a software engineer hailing all the way from Mexico. He's a developer and lead for Forge, HPE's open source project, that's spelled F-O-R-J, and a contributor to projects like Puppet and OpenStack. He's currently serving as a DevOps evangelist, pretty similar to us, for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. So welcome to the show, Oscar. So kind of give us a chance to introduce you to our viewers and tell us what gets you excited about your current role.
Sure. Hi, guys. Well, I'm Oscar Romero. software engineer here at HPE. I'm located at Mexico in Guadalajara. I'm part of SSIT organization, and well, basically this I'm working very close to the EG R&D team. So and with that role, I'm like an evangelist of DevOps. It's what we are doing right now, trying to onboard applications into these new methodologies like that talks about continuous integration, continuous deployment, notification, uh, self-healing, monitoring, all of that cool things that we are seeing too much in new open source tools and Docker too. But well, basically that's my new role. And one of those applications that we are trying to onboard in this case is People Finder. It was one of our first. Uh, and that's why I'm here, and I'm gonna talk to you guys.
Right.
Basically, we get the request to take some application on HPE to create this or to onboard them, obviously, to DevOps. Uh, People Finder was one of the selected, and we basically rewrite it from scratch. Uh, we are using pretty cool frameworks, Node frameworks. It is wrote on Node.js, but we are using Bootstrap at the same time as we are using Grommet, which is the framework for Hewlett Packard Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Sorry. Uh, uh, like view styles or style sheets.
Wow. Before you get into the whole technology and mumbo jumbo, can you tell us the story which you were telling us earlier, that the unicorn which is behind you, that is how you come to office. You sit on that unicorn and you get to office, right? So can you tell us where did you get that unicorn? We would all love to have, something, a ride like that.
Sure, that unicorn, it was a gift from the EG R&D team in one of our hackathons. We
Wow.
we do that oftenly. Hackathons like week hackathons when we have some important milestones, and that one they bring it into the site, and I mean the unicorn was with us all the during the hackathon, and they decided that they will leave it in here. So
Wow. Lovely.
it's just fun, and sometimes
Lovely.
we just put Mexican hats over it, and yeah, or just paint mustache and those things.
That's
Nice.
perfect. And you guys do tons of hackathons. You also participated in our Stackato app deployment contest back in November. So thank you for that. But we're going to give it to you to kind of take away, and you're going to do a screen share and kind of walk everybody through your experience.
Yep. Take it
Yep.
along.
Okay. Can you see my screen? I guess.
Yep.
Right. Perfect. So this is our workflow or People Finder. I mean, we call it a pipeline. At the beginning, we were using tools like Gerrit and Jenkins, but it was difficult for new developers to onboard the application. The idea of People Finder is that everyone at HPE can actually contribute to it. I mean, like make it open source for all of employees in HPE. So Gerrit was not the best option for it, but GitHub Enterprise is. I mean, it has like a better user interface. I guess all of you are familiar with GitHub.
Yep.
So GitHub Enterprise is basically the same. This one it's hosted on HPE private servers.
Sure.
So it's very cool. uh, we decide to move it in here, and then we decide to use Helion CI for continuous integration instead of Jenkins. Jenkins, it's super powerful. It's everyone knows Jenkins, but it's like more difficult to use for onboarding teams and new users. I mean, if they want to write tests, it's a little difficult, or yeah, more difficult than Helium CI. It's the idea.
Okay.
Uh,
So it's
yeah,
like Jenkins maybe is the Ferrari, and at a lot of times you don't need the Ferrari. You need your normal, city car, which gets the job done, right? So that's the reason you went with the Helion CI as you are referring, correct?
correct. Helium CI make things easy for you. Uh, and well, I'm seeing currently GitHub Enterprise, but this
Sure.
is the user interface of Helium CI. It
Okay.
basically it's as easy as you can just start a new project, and you just pick which project you want to start this or enable the continuous integration for it.
Okay.
And it's super easy. It's just wizards and next.
All right.
That's it. I'm gonna show you here pretty fast just the configuration that I have for this demo that I'm going to do.
Sure.
I basically linked this configuration to my People Finder repo
Sure.
to the branch master, and I just said which kind of project it is. It's an Node.js project. And then you have to set where it's going to deploy the testing applications. And in this case, we are using Helion Stackato for it. Before we were using Helion Dev Platform, but this is the new transformation of Helion Dev Platform, the new version, with a lot of fixes, with Docker capabilities,
Right.
and it's very cool. So we switched to Helion Stackato, and this is my server where I am deploying.
Mhm.
And well, I think I can do this demo for you guys. Is okay. We are currently maintaining this application, but the idea is okay. Everyone can come and start a new change. I mean, they need something or they want to contribute. They just saw an issue, a typo, anything, and they can contribute to it. So it's very easy. You have just to fork the repo, and well, I already forked mine.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go over there, and let's say for this demo purposes, I'm gonna say that I'll change the background color, right? I create a branch for my new change, and the background color it's on one of these files. Okay.
Adrian, I think we should work on this after this. I'll change my name from Sujay Maheshwari to Batman Maheshwari, something like that. So, I'll create my own.
Yeah, but it's super easy. Okay, I'm going to switch, and I'm going to show you first one. This is our like our production stage or our production application.
Sure.
It's green and it has of this, and you can just start looking for someone. And hope it's working. Yeah, demo gods are on my side this time. So okay, I'm gonna switch this background from green to blue. I already have that application defined in here because we were also having those configuration when we were one company.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna commit just my change. Obviously, you can do all of this in your local workstation, doing git clone and all of that, but for demos purposes, I'm doing this right on the UI.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have here the change. It says that my commit is one commit ahead, my branch. And when I do this pull request, it's doing to the base fork, which is the production or repo, right? The
Right.
people find the repo.
Right.
So once I do this, it's going to trigger the Helion CI testing or building. So if I go or in this same view, I'm sorry. Okay, it says that it's building now.
Right.
It took my change, update the index.css file, and it's building now. What basically how it's taking or how it's knowing what it's going to or what tested what test it's going to execute. You define that on the file that is the package.json, which basically as the configuration on the Helium CI interface, you set which kind of project it is. In this case, we said that it was a Node.js project, so
Right.
it used npm interfaces to test and to build all the application. Right? You can have or you can test in Helium CI supports Python application, Java, and Node.js. So in this case, the testing is defined in this command, and the building for the application, it's just to take those dependencies and try to build all the installation of the application. Obviously, this takes some time. So I already did a build. Mm, I already did a build for this demo while we're waiting for the other one. Here is my commit. It's changing the
Yeah.
welcome message for to Protons test, right?
Exactly.
So if I go over there, I can see that the building process passed the testing and the deploy. It took like 5 minutes for building, 2 for testing, and 16 for deploy. It took a little bit because people find the application has it's a lot of images for the source code and all of that.
Right. 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 Uh, I have a question here. So, are
Sure.
you deploying this as a Docker container on Stackato, or are you using the build packs for Node apps?
Yeah, we are using the build packs for Node apps, but the idea is to create or we actually have a repo for with the Docker file to have people find their Dockerize it.
Okay.
But in this case, we are deploying to Helion Stackato as with the build packs of Node, not as a container yet. But it's the idea. It's one of our or it's on our roadmap.
Okay. Just curious. Okay.
Yeah. So one of the nice things of this Helium CI interface is that okay, here is our where is it? I don't see it. I'm in the wrong window. Okay, here is our change. So after it success all the building, testing, and deployment, uh, it creates a link in here which you can use to actually view your application with the change. So we
Ah,
can see the change that I did. So if I go to in my source code to that specific pull request, it's still open. It says changing welcome message for to Protons test, right?
right.
And here's the commit, and here is the change, the file changed. So
Right.
I changed just the welcome message. That's it. And the pull request it's still open as you see, but you have this new deployment where you can test, but now manually, or yeah, there's functionality before even merge it into your production. Because if we switch to this page, which
Right.
is our production, it's still with the original message, right?
Correct.
Welcome to New People Finder. But if we
I,
just switch to this one,
oh, this is phenomenal because now I can still push my app, do my smoke testing or whatever you call it,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
And once everything looks okay, then I can do my flipping of making this point to the production link. So this is great. Like I can still deploy, but I need not expose it to the entire user base. My test team and my engineering team can take a look at it real quick and then move it further.
You are absolutely right. And this is a little confused because here we have a failure, but this is just a test of another continuous integration application, which is Drone. But
Okay.
that's just it's it's not right. Okay, just ignore it.
Sure.
The only test required to accept or to be able to merge this change is the one from Helion CI. As you
Hmm.
can see, here is a flag saying, okay, this is the only test required for it. So I'm
Lucky.
actually be able to merge if I merge now, I we can have hello the hello to Protons and a cloud message
Let's
on
not
our
do that.
people
Let's
cloud.
not again. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not going to do that. But basically, this is the workflow as the continuous integration and continuous deployment workflow. We can see this build. It just passed the building, and you can see all the output in here. I think it's very cool and it's very easy to configure it different than another tools like Jenkins or
Right.
Watson or Electric Commander and all of them.
Right.
All of them.
And I'm sure if the build fails, it will output all the error logs and white fields so that you can go back and fix it and stuff, all the good stuff, right?
Exactly, exactly. We have a lot of examples of that.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
you can just check it over here and okay, it's all printed, right? All the messages.
Right.
Um, I think one of the big takeaways with your experiences, for sure, kind of the relative ease and the speed of which you guys could do this, versus in the past when some of these simple changes used to take days. I think now you can concur that they take minutes and zero
Exactly.
downtime.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, like the soul of these DevOps things. I mean, they have the availability of test your changes right away. So you test and even deploy your changes right away. I
Hmm.
mean, you can merge a change. Uh, just by relying on your testing that you
Right.
also define or your teams define. But you don't have to wait these milestones to say, okay, no, the release is in 60 days, so you have to wait all of that. Even if your change is ready, that's, I mean, ugh, it's ugly, right? And it's
Right.
painful. It's painful.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do you want to show us as part of this tool,
Yeah.
Oscar?
Some very interesting thing is that we have all of this. I mean, this is like stage one, right? Like okay, the pretty basics to have your continuous integration and continuous delivery process ongoing, right? You can now test your application and you can deploy your application, but there are more steps to do that can enhance your application or the availability of your application. Uh, like you can enable third-party tools. Like in this case, we have FlowDoc. I don't know if you're familiar with FlowDoc, but it's just like Slack, right? It's
Right.
just like a Slack. HP has this accounts for FlowDoc, and we have integrated uh, our deployments with these tools. So we get notified when uh, when someone creates a new change, and when the test when it's running. As you can see here, is my last commit.
Right.
It says, okay, it's update the index CSS, and you
Right.
can just click over it, and it takes you to the change.
Uh-huh.
Or you can, for example, in this one, no, this is not the right one. This one, this is the change that I did for the welcome message. So you can also click over it, and it takes you to the actual deployment of in Helion Stackato.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so this is very helpful because you can have conversation, discussions, and say, okay, that even if the test pass, you can say here, no, I don't like this. You better change these variables or whatever.
Right.
It pass all the time. Uh, so you can have these conversations. Another thing we have enabled is Hubot. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but Hubot is it's a bot to automate things. So we have commands, and this bot it's always listening in this flow. Actually,
Okay.
it's called PF bot,
Okay.
but you can just uh, iterate with it, and we have commands to release our application. Uh,
Wow. Okay.
this bot is just listening everything that happens on the chat. You see,
Right.
if I just type ship it, the bot just put an image in there, and it's
Right.
always listening. You can define your own scripts that you want. What do you want to run?
Right.
And in this case, we define a release process that triggers or releases every Monday.
Right. Well, yeah,
So
I have used some bots. Some people call me lazy. I call myself productive, just to increase my productivity. But yeah, I know what you mean. But good to know that, you have automated uh, the thing here as
exactly,
well. Awesome.
because even you can integrate your bot with tools like Sensu, and you can monitor your application, and we can have on-time notification saying, okay, people finder went down, and it couldn't self-healing, so go and check some things like that are very helpful for us. I mean, for
Right.
developers.
Right.
Definitely.
Uh, Adrian, I know we are running out of time. One question I have now is, if I am a developer, where do I start? Where do I go and download these tools? Do you have some pointers for us?
You can go to GitHub Enterprise. This is our inner source instance.
Okay. And
You
for the
can,
Helion CI?
for the Helion CI, there is a link uh, where you can register as an employee of Hewlett Packard Enterprise. I think is this one. No, but it's not this one. I'll try to get you to the link.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. We'll post the link as part of the show, not only
Hmm.
for the HPE employees, but even if folks from outside who watch this show, if they are interested, they can just take a look at the tool. So we'll post it as part of our YouTube description.
Yeah, I have all the emails, but I don't remember right now,
That's
and
all right.
I'll
Yeah.
put it.
We'll make sure that that information is all accessible for the audience. But I think, Oscar, this is really cool, and I'm glad that we were able to get you on here, especially with this has been something that you guys worked on at a really quick pace and then got to deploy for that contest as well. So we were really looking forward to seeing how it all happened down there in Mexico. And if you guys do anything else in the future, let us know because we're always curious and we always want to share those experiences and challenges with our audience.
Yeah.
So really a great discussion overall, and our audience can reach out to us with any questions. We'll pass those on to Oscar. We'll get the links out to you guys. Any final thoughts, Sujay, Oscar?
No?
No, I think this is what we need to adopt, as a developer community, the whole CI/CD. So I think it was a great demo. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you guys for the invitation.
Definitely. So we'll keep you guys all in the loop. We have new episodes coming up next week. Sujay's going on vacation. We have him for a couple more weeks, and then he's leaving me alone while he hangs out. And then we'll be back together soon. But follow us on @2protons, Twitter, and we always have those other episodes. If you guys missed some of our introductions to Cloud Foundry, check those out as well, so you have some good context for this episode.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you guys. See you
Thank
later.
you.